Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly. In the Weekdays at Bernie segment tonight, criticisms by some in the media that President Obama and Secretary of State Kerry were involved with trivial pursuits instead of paying attention to the blow-up in Egypt.
I don't know how this happened, but it was terrible optics. The next day, the president goes golfing, and Secretary Kerry's out on his yacht. What does that say to young people in Egypt, across the Middle East, whether part of the debate, about America's interest in the region?
Is that criticism justified? Joining us now from North Carolina, the purveyor of BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. All right, so we've seen this before, not only with President Obama, with Bush the Younger, Dwight Eisenhower, golfing, you know, all the Soviets are moving across Poland, whatever. Justified?
I think the analysis that you just played is absolutely correct. The optics are terrible. The President of the United States of America is playing golf in short pants and a polo shirt while one of the most important countries in the Arab world is unraveling. Yeah, that's a bad picture. But I don't think those optics were a mistake, as bad as they were. I don't think it was a mistake. I think President Obama was sending a message to President Morsi. And the message was, I never liked you. I don't like you now. In many ways, you're worse than Mubarak, the dictator that you succeeded. And playing golf says, I am not going to lift a finger. I am not going to say a word publicly that will save you from being thrown out. So I think that's one strong possibility. The second one has absolutely nothing to do with diplomacy or politics. And it's pretty simple, Bill, and I think it may actually be the real reason. President Obama just plain likes playing golf. And I don't think it's possible that he's going to say, I'm not going to let some crisis in Cairo interrupt my golf game, especially on a long holiday weekend.
And Kerry likes his yacht out in Nantucket, and they like their leisure time, and they work hard. They're entitled to it. However, when you get a president whose management style is under fire, and it is, certainly. I was talking to Mort Zuckerman, the publisher of the New York Daily News, not a conservative newspaper, about the president's management style. And the message he sends, not just to the Egyptians, but to kind of the world is, you know what? It doesn't really matter. It just doesn't matter.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, he really does lead from behind. And that's why the optics are so bad. I'm not sure that whether he was on the golf course or in the Situation Room in the White House would have made one bit of difference on the ground.
It wouldn't have.
On the ground, but it doesn't look good, and it sends a message that we don't care enough about what happens in your country, that I'm going out to play golf. So it doesn't look good for the president, but I want to get back to the fact that I don't think it was an accident. I don't think optics are necessarily an accident when it's at that level. I think he was saying, I'm aloof, and I am not getting involved in this one. Don't forget, a lot of critics have said over the past year or so that President Obama never spoke out publicly about the excesses of President Morsi. So now that it hits the fan and it's going south, you think he wants to be in the middle of that? He'd rather be out on the golf course than in the middle of that.
Yeah, but I think it's more than just Egypt, though. It looks to me, and this is pure speculation, it looks to me that the president says, you know what, I won twice. I don't have to run again. I'm going to do what I want. And if I want to play golf while Morsi is, you know, in some dirty cell in Cairo, I don't care. I think you're right. He didn't care about Morsi. I want to play a little golf because what's it to me? Let me tweak that. Let me tweak that just a little bit. I think this is somebody who wanted very badly to be president of the United States, but I don't think he likes having to do the job of president of the United States. That's sort of a drag, you know. I mean, you got to do all this stuff that a guy like Obama doesn't really like. I think he really is too cool for school very much of the time. You know? All right. Bernie Goldberg, everybody.